Critique, the Comprehensive Guide to Apologetics. Chapter 3. What are some of the apologetic approaches? H. Wayne House.
But if you only believe...
Leave me alone, Tinkerbell. I'm not in the mood today. If you have not listened to Chapter 3 with us, I've left a link in the description. But now that we've gone through it, let's see if we can find any contention. Without further ado. Alrighty. As I recall from the first time I read this chapter, there really wasn't a whole lot to critique about it. And as I went through it again, it became apparent that there's not a whole lot to criticize. But we'll go ahead. There was just a few things, and we'll go ahead and talk about those. Firstly, quote, "Though Christian apologists are united on the essentials of the faith," end quote. I honestly do not believe this is a truthful statement. Much like the organizations of Christianity, there's multiple different kinds of apologists out there, and if you consider all of them together, you disagree on almost every main point of doctrine, including who Jesus is, what it takes to be saved, how to interpret the Bible, and what actually the essentials of the faith are. There's so many differing ideas and Christian philosophies out there. It's mind-boggling. It really is. And if you guys can't get it right, how do you expect the rest of us to differentiate between conflicting or contradictory doctrines? My second point of contention is the summary of the classical apologetic approach that he gives. Now, he says it's a 12-point argument, but I counted 13, and I'll go ahead and read it, and then I'll give you the premises, and you could judge for yourself. Quote, "To summarize, if truth is knowable and a theistic God exists, then miracles are possible, which are acts of God confirming the messages of God. And if this is so, then the message of the New Testament is historically reliable, and because the New Testament says Jesus is the Son of God, as was confirmed by his resurrection from the dead, then Jesus is God. Thus the Bible is the Word of God, because Christ, who is God, affirmed it. If all of this is true, then Orthodox Christianity is true. Therefore, since anything opposed to truth is false, anything opposed to the Bible must also be false. Thus, Christianity is true." Okay, so if this 12-point argument, I guess this is, if it was an actual logical argument, any logician worth his salt could tear this thing apart. So I'll go ahead and give the premises as they're given in the text. I'm working on an epistemology that would argue against this, but for the sake of argument, I'm willing to grant the first premise, and let's move on to the second. Premise 2, a theistic God exists, and herein lies the problem. Between premise 1 and 2 is a non sequitur. It does not follow that if truth is knowable that a theistic God exists. You need a few more premises to establish that as a fact. I also think there's a non sequitur between premises 2 and 3. Premise number 3, miracles are possible. It does not follow that if a theistic God exists, that miracles are possible. It's entirely possible that if a God exists, this God was like some type of Calvinistic God. He kicked things into motion and it's all just preordained, and he doesn't interfere with the preordination whatever. He could still care, but he doesn't interfere with the preordination. That's possible, is it not? If such is possible, then There's no reason to conclude or go from one premise to the other that a theistic God exists or a God that cares exists to that miracles are possible. There's just no reason to make that leap. I also don't like the language of the third premise, miracles are possible. Just because something is possible doesn't make it probable. If you're going to make a truth claim about the world or the universe, you need to be able to demonstrate possibility, and you need to be able to demonstrate probability. Now, the rest of these premises I'm just going to read out. See if you can identify any more fallacies. Premise number 4. The message of the New Testament is historically reliable. Premise number 5. Jesus is the Son of God. Premise number 6. Jesus resurrected from the dead. Premise number 7. Jesus is God. Premise number 8. The Bible is the Word of God. Premise number 9. Jesus affirmed the Bible. Premise number 10. Orthodox Christianity is true. Premise number 11. Anything opposed to truth is false. Premise number 12. Anything opposed to the Bible is false. Premise 13. Christianity is true. Really, this is just a laundry list of supposition and fallacies. I can only tentatively agree with premise number 1 and premise number 11. All things considered, the argument's not very good, but perhaps as we delve further into this book, we'll get more details that clarify things. And finally, presuppositional argumentation is gutter apologetics. It presupposes that which I require evidence, and it also tries to read minds. I've seen plenty presuppositional apologists tell their interlocutors that deep down inside they really, really do believe in God. And I can't speak for them, but I can speak in my own case. Whenever someone tells me that I really do believe in God when I really don't, I simply dismiss all their argumentation because it's obviously, fallaciously, and rudely and disgustingly wrong. Sometimes it really does tickle me when someone tries to tell me what's in my own head. I mean, it's patently absurd and funny. Presuppositional apologists, you are the National Enquirer of apology. I cannot take you guys seriously, not even a little bit. Well, folks, that's what I got for you today. Despite any disagreement we may have, be well on your journey.